It's project 4, and our 4th project is going to be on self-portraits. So you're going to be drawing a picture of yourself. A self-portrait is basically a picture of yourself. So self means you, portrait means picture. So you're drawing, painting, whatever it is, it's a picture of you, okay? So this year's theme is going to be Behind the Mask. So basically it's inspired by all the masks we have to wear right now. Sorry about that, but it's for your guys' safety. So we are going to express our self-portrait by using the mask in it. So if you can see behind me, I found some funnies. So here we have Mona Lisa, and she has toilet paper, and she has hand sanitizer in her hand, and it cracks me up, and with her mask, okay? And then over here we have the artist Vincent van Gogh, and he's wearing a Starry Night mask. And then we have Frida Kahlo, and she's wearing a mask as well with one of her paintings on it. It's pretty cool. And then last but not least, we have Salvador Dali, which is a really cool artist. And he has his mask on with his mustache, his famous mustache poking right through. And then down here we have Jan Vermeer. And that is the painting that she is famous for in 1665, The Girl with the Pearl Earring. And she has a mask on too. So this is just kind of a quick little funny view of some of the famous artists painted as if they were here with us today wearing their masks. And here we have some examples of some other student artwork that have made Behind the Mask self-portrait. You can see this one is a pencil drawing. This one is an acrylic paint drawing and painting. And this one also, I believe, is a pencil drawing. So you are going to focus on making a self-portrait of yourself, and it is to have the mask covering of any kind. You can decorate it, or you can leave it offset like this, so it's a contrast and standing off of your face and you can really see it. Or you can go the crazy wild style and use something that pertains to you as you decorate the mask. So like, for instance, with Van Gogh, he has the Starry Night that pertains to him. Okay? So I'm going to go into details on how to sketch out some really quick tips on eyes, because you're not going to need much on the nose and the mouth because they're going to be covered, okay? So that's one awesome thing, is you don't have to worry so much about focusing on details on the nose and the mouth right now, because you're just going to be focusing on this area and then your face, and then you have the mask over it, okay? So we're going to be focusing on value and shading. We're going to be focusing on drawing something realistic. I'm going to be showing you how to draw those eyes, and you're going to get started, and you can use any medium you want. So if you want to use pencil, if you want to use charcoal, if you want to use oil pastel, if you want to use paint, if you want to use colored pencil, it's completely up to you. You just need to draw your self-portrait and try to make it as realistic as you can. If you're more of a cartoon artist and you want to do it more cartoony, I welcome that. You can do that. So I know some people are really into anime, so if you wanted to draw your self-portrait, it still needs to be you, draw your self-portrait as an anime with the mask, you can totally do that too. All right, I hope you enjoy this lesson, and I'll catch you on the flip side when I'm drawing. Okay, so some basic tips on how to draw an eye. First of all, drawing an eye isn't as hard as you think it is. It's, basically a circle. You're starting out with a circle. So the first thing I do is I start out with my circle, okay, and I do it nice and lightly. Okay, and this is going to be my main section of my eye. Then I'm going to draw a line to give me a central point to that eye, kind of splitting it in half so I know where to draw my eyelid and then the shape of the eye. Okay, so next I'm going to come over my eye kind of like a rainbow, like this. Then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Now, if this is trickier to keep your paper that way, I suggest actually flipping your paper over, and that will help a lot if you do that, okay? Now this is going to be the tear duct right in here. And then now here is my eye. This is gonna be my eye shape. I wanna add like a little bit of an eyelid here, so I'm gonna draw a matching line. Coming over the eye there. Then I need my pupil. So I'm gonna make a nice round circle in the center there. And I'm gonna give a little wrinkle underneath, following the line I already had there. These are called sketch lines, so they're not perfect, and they're kind of just giving some direction as to where I'm going here in my drawing, okay? And now I'm gonna add some eyelashes. Everyone does have them, and you kind of wanna start right here on this line and go out, out. Kind of let go of your pencil when you're getting to the end, so it gives it kind of a point. And sometimes I go in different directions because your eyelashes are not perfect. And I'm not gonna go all the way over there, okay? And then I'm gonna give some down here. Look at the curve that you're giving your eyelashes. You're kind of curving them, see? You're not making them straight. You don't want to make your eyelashes like straight like this, okay? You want to try to give it curve and give it more realistic look. So this is, you want to try to draw away from this now, because this is like a beginner. You want to try to learn how to make it more realistic. This takes practice, but if you're watching the motion of my pencil, you want to just go up and down and bringing it down. Okay? So it's kind of like a line like that. And then when you get in the middle here, you want to bring your line coming around like that. Goes kind of curves, okay? And then the top one, I start at the eyelid and I go up. See how there's like a little curve and then it goes up, up. And if you want to practice this until you get comfortable, I would just kind of do that on your paper, scratch paper, kind of do this and get comfortable with these motions. And then when you go down to your eye, it will make it a lot easier because you've already kind of practiced. Just like anything else, like sports or anything else, you've got to practice to get better at something, okay? Sometimes that takes a little bit of time, but don't be frustrated with that. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to put a little light catcher, or what it's called a reflector. So I'm going to add a little circle in here. Okay, and then when I come in to start shading, this will kind of just look like a reflection there. There's another way to do a reflector. And it's kind of a little bit different than this one. You can add here's your eye, okay? Here's your pupil. You can add like a curvature of the eye, go with it, the same line that this one, follow that line, and you can go over like this, and then that would be your light catcher. So whichever you prefer. There's also some other ones online that will teach you different ways to make the little reflections. It really depends on where the light is hitting your eye as to how the reflector is going to look, okay? All right, so now I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna erase and clean up some of these lines I used as kind of like a guideline, okay? So I'm going to erase those guidelines so I don't need them anymore. And now I'm going to start showing you how to make the little part that comes out of your iris, or comes out of your pupil, sorry, and into your iris. Your iris is your colorful part of your eye, okay? That's what it's called. So I'm going to make these little lines coming out. If you've ever looked closely at an eye, you can see these little dark lines that are coming out. They also come out a little bit right on the edge here too. Okay? And so I'm going to do that all the way around. And then I'm going to start adding some more lines in here, guys. This is going to create a more realistic eye. These lines are going all the way across, giving it some more realistic look. Okay. All right, so here you have your eye, okay? And you can clean it up some more if you'd like to, and then in here it gets a little dark. So that's an eye. So you are gonna create that again on the other side. Well, you're thinking, well, how do I do that? Okay, so when you've got your face, so I'm gonna make a face shape. You know, it's kind of like an oval or like an egg, if you will. And just kind of do a sketch line here of a face. Right, and you can always print out a face template and you can trace it. So if you got a printer at home, find a face template online that you really like the shape of the face, print it out, cut it out, then put it on your paper and trace it. Okay, I'm not beyond doing that. That is awesome because, you know, the more you do something, the better you're going to get at it. Even if you trace something, you have muscle memory and you'll remember, your body will remember the shape that you drew. Okay, now with a face, there are measurements technically. I'm going to give a forehead a little ways down. So I'm going to come right across about here, which is my eyes, okay? I'm going to start my eyes. Remember how we started with the circle? I know that's not a perfect circle, but that's okay. I'm going to try to line them up, make sure they're about the same size and distance from each other. Now, remember what we do next. We come up and over. This one is a little too big from what I want to do here. So I'm gonna make it a little smaller. Kind of looks anime-ish. That's okay. Okay, and again, the first beginning of your sketch, it's called sketch lines. Go with it. It's okay if it doesn't look how you want it to look right away. You're gonna work with it. You erase stuff. That's why you want to draw with pencil. Do your eyelashes, okay? Here's your iris, so we're gonna put that light catcher in there like we talked about. And then I'm gonna add all the little iris lines coming out. And then on this side too. I know it looks pretty scribbly right now, but it'll start looking more alive here in a minute. And then I'm gonna erase some of this. Darkening it up a little bit. Okay, so here's one eye. And if I had time, I would play with it even more. Make it even more realistic looking. Okay, then you want to match up your other one. I'm gonna kind of do this. I'm gonna make a line coming from this guy so I know that they're measured correctly together. Okay, so and people say that our eyes kind of look like an almond shape. Get my pupil in there, get my eyelid in there. Okay, start doing my iris. And you can play with this more and more as you go. Remember, whatever you do to one eye for reflection, you got to do to the other eye, so it's got to be, you know, matched up. My reflection is not too great right now. There we go. Okay, and then you're going to give your eye some eyelashes. I'm giving mine a lot of eyelashes. Okay, so this isn't like exactly the same because I haven't finished up on my, I'm doing too much darkness there. All right, and then you've got your mask. So you want to carry your mask, okay, something like this. It goes up over your nose and then it comes back down. Okay, the best option here is to actually take a picture of yourself with your iPad with your mask on. And then you're going to refer to that picture. That picture is going to be your reference of help to get your picture more correctly drawn. Now, I'm going to put a line right here and a line right here because these are going to be my guidelines for my eyebrows. Okay. And I'm going to put some tutorials on eyebrows and on eyes so you guys can watch someone else's opinion on and quick. Sometimes, you know, I learn better from other things, so I like to see multiple different ways to do something, and then sometimes I gravitate towards a specific way. So I'm going to give you some other options, okay, on how to draw your eyes and stuff. And eyebrows are kind of your basic way to give emotion. And hair, I'm going to give a tutorial on that too, where you just kind of come up and out and you want to bring your hair down. Now, depending on if you're a guy or a girl, your hair obviously looks a little different. So I'm going to give you some of those guys and girl tutorials on how to draw different types of hair. There's even braids, all kinds of really cool tutorials out there that make you, that help you draw more realistic looking hair and will suit and fit whatever it is that you are desiring for your look, okay? All right. And then I just keep adding texture. Now I am going to erase these crazy guidelines here. And this guy's a little bit too thick. So I'm going to go back and work on him. All right, and you can kind of see my picture coming to life a little bit more here. Now this part right here is going to be a little bit shaded because you've got your bridge of your nose. And I just want it to kind of be a shadow there. So I'm just going to use my finger to create that illusion of this shadow. And in your face mask, you have like wrinkles. Some do, some don't. So if yours doesn't, then you don't have to. Like some of them have the wrinkle like that comes like down the middle, so you could do that. And I'm gonna use my finger again because I really like the way this looks. Now, some artists do not like to use the finger because you're taking away from the value. So you're basically just adding like one value instead of having light to dark, okay? So in some places you don't want to do that. You want to make sure that you have multiple shading here where it goes light to dark. Makes it look more realistic, but I went up a little bit too far there. In this case, I like the shading with the finger. Sometimes there's tools too that you can use to shade. They look kind of like wrapped up paper. But you can wrap up paper too and use that as a tool to shade instead of your finger. And the darker you want something to get, you got to apply more pressure. And the lighter you want something to be, then you take away the pressure of the pencil. I'm just going to add some more details in here. These spikes that kind of... Now, there are different types of lines. There's texture lines, there's all kinds of crazy different types of lines, contour lines. And we're going to go into detail about those a little bit later too. Well, I hope this helped. And if I did go a little bit too fast for you, remember you can pause the video. Don't forget about that. Put a little bit more of a bridge right here too, both sides. I don't know if I like that side having a bridge. Now, if you have glasses or anything like that, then you want to add your glasses. And I have glasses, so I'm going to actually add my glasses here. And I'll look at the shape. Go around. Oh man, and when I wear glasses with this mask, it is crazy because it always fogs up.
Now, some of you may be able to have draw people like magnificently, like you've been really practicing for a long time, and that is just one thing that you're really good at. This is not one of my favorite things to draw is faces or people or realistic drawings. I am not, it's not my favorite. I like making recycled art and painting. I love to paint. Okay. All right, so once you have it the way you like it, and then you can just start adding more details to it as you please. And then when you're all done, you can just take a picture of your masked self-portrait and send it on its way to me. Submit it in Canvas. All right, I hope you liked this project. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. Let me know if you need anything or any help. I'll be happy to help. And remember, I'm going to be having some other people's tips and tricks on how to make different things, even the nose and stuff. I might just put those on there because if you want to further your strengthen your ability in making faces and such without a mask on, I want to give you that opportunity as well. Okay, so I will have those videos on there, and you can take a peek at those and see how you like them. All right. See you next time, guys.